United States submarine base at Key West, Florida. A dispatch that quoted President Truman's press secretary, Charles Ross, as saying that President Truman has no knowledge of any secret project by this government that would give substance to the existence of such objects. Ross also said that both the Air Force and the Navy deny that such objects exist.
God, she's so ugly.
No, she's cute. And then Apollo is just like full on throwing himself onto the floor.
Go lay down. Oh, God, it's fucking hellscape in here. Actually, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I don't know if you saw, my work gave me an Amazon gift card.
No, they did.
For
I didn't see it.
over 100 doll hairs. And just slightly over. Honestly, it was 2 gift cards into one. And I, rather than doing anything responsible with it, did the free money approach.
Yeah.
So I am still trying to get armor because I'm going to do a Joan of Arc shoot in spring with Lindsay. But the armor I want is from the Ukraine and it's custom made. Shipping is $100. The armor is like 2 something. So it's like almost $380 or $400 for it. Yeah. So I'm like, I think I'm going to do a stream. So everyone here, surprise. I think I'm going to do like a stream with like Kari and I. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to read like fan fiction.
Perfect.
Like medieval fan fiction.
I'm gonna write medieval fan fiction.
Please.
To read.
Please.
I'm really good at writing shit.
You should.
Did you see Ichabod's birthday message? I nailed it.
I know, it's so good. Yeah, if you want to contribute, you could even pop in on the stream. And it's just going to be like basically a dono stream, you know, like just any amount you can. And we're hoping to get at least $380 so I can get this armor custom made. Yeah. It's real armor.
I'm going to write a fanfic about you hooking up with Jared Leto's Joker.
Oh my God.
And you're going to have to read it for money and you're going to have to actually try. And you're going to have to say every word.
That upsets me.
It gives me fuel.
I appreciate your support, but that also upsets me. So anyway, I made a purchase today, which is honestly like, first of all, I've been wanting a pair of Heelys since childhood.
Oh, I miss them.
I know.
I had a dope set where it wasn't Heelys, but it was actual skates that folded up into the shoe and you push a little button and it go,
girl,
and it was quads would come out.
Yeah, those are also back and you can get them on Amazon, just so you know.
I'll order some
because people on TikTok have been doing it. You should. I mean, I think it's like for those ones, I think it's like 30.
Let's fucking look right now.
So anyway, like back when I was dating Shane, I asked his mom for Heelys for Christmas and she was like, I can't find any in adult sizes. Well, apparently Amazon caught up to the trend now in 2021. You can buy adult sizes in Heelys. Perfect. So naturally, and let me fucking just say, literally, this is the review. This is the top review on the adult pair of Heelys that low-key kind of look like Vans, by the way. And this is what made me absolutely do it. I just couldn't even so this is the ad. Okay. This is the review. So you know, like this is 100% real. 5 stars. I'm unstoppable. As soon as I got these on, I instantly started drowning in pussy and had to fight off the babes. I have recently unlocked the ability to freeze time while wearing these blessed shoes, and the militaries of the world were no match for my awesome ability to obliterate objects with my mind. TLDR, buy Heelys, become God. So this is like my story in 3 parts. Heelys advertisement, they're $50. That 5-star review arriving on Wednesday.
Oh, love to see it. I'm gonna get some too. I'm adding to cart.
You should. So, here's the other thing, though. Mm-hmm. Immediately after purchasing that, I set a little bit of money on my card. Right, those were only $50.
Yeah.
Immediately after purchasing that, guess what? Is like you may also like.
Oh.
Black platform Crocs. Yeah.
I'm kicking my legs in joy. I'm doing scissor kicks.
Yeah. I have never smashed that buy now button faster in my fucking life.
Oliver's brother has flame Crocs and he is overseas right now. And every time I go to his parents' house, I just have to look at him.
You put them on like Cinderella.
Door. I have to, in my mind, weigh my relationship versus stealing from his family. And you know what?
Girl, get the platforms. Get a pair of white platform ones and then paint your own flames on them. But here's the other thing, right? So I'm like, I hit that add to cart. I'm like, hell yeah, baby. I don't even care. I will not eat for like a week as long as I can have these.
Yeah.
Just because fucking Bezos knows what's up. The moment after I add the platform Crocs to my bag, you know, it's like you may also like, and it was giant fucking giant like studs, like, and I was like, oh my god, to
Crocs?
put in on the fucking Crocs, dude. So anyway, that's the purchase I made today. Black adult Heelys.
I love it.
Platform Crocs and a bag of giant spikes to put in the fucking Crocs. Go fuck with me, dude.
No. Why would somebody?
I just like...
They'll fuck with you, but not fuck with you.
I know it. So anyway, what's up? My name's Noelle, and I just bought a pair of Heelys and a pair of platform Crocs.
Ooh, and I'm Chelsea. I have a headache.
Are you also buying platform... Are you going to do Heelys or are you going to do Crocs?
Yes.
What? To both?
All the Heelys I'm finding are like baby size.
I know. I'll have to send you...
send me the link.
I'll send you the link because the Heelys I got are... Because they just do adult men's, so you have to do youth. So like I'm a youth 7, so you're like a youth, I don't know, a 7 is a 9. So whatever. I think it's like I think it's a size and a half
6
you
then.
take away. Yeah. And it's cheaper because the adult ones are 70. You get a youth one. Yeah, for 50.
Brilliant. You're brilliant. Yeah, send me what you got, and then I'm going to look up platform Crocs, too.
Yeah.
I don't have any money because of Puffin, but I'm going to wait for my refund check.
Yeah, there you go. Also, I had a little bit of credit on my Amazon account, so I was really feeling ballin' because I went to... Because I'm doing... let me see. Yeah, dog. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm doing the Avatar group with you guys.
I saw that. You're our Cora. I'm your
Cora.
Katara.
Yeah, I'm Cora.
What up, what up, what up?
And so I have like I'm working on the costume. I have to style the wig. It's a whole fucking process. I remember why I don't do cosplay anymore, and it's because it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I also joined within the last week and a half, even though it's like a nightmare. But anyway.
If it makes you feel better, I have to order my wig too. Like I made my costume from Sizzy Scratch.
Nice.
But yeah. All I have is like the Cora, or not the Cora. Damn you, Cora. The Katara, her dress thing.
I mean, yeah.
That's all I have. I don't have a wig.
I don't have any brown wigs, so I had to buy a brown wig. And here's the thing, though. This is why I know I'm smart. I got a brown wig that's like the anime front bang wig because Cora kind of has like front bangs, but she's got like the two. She's got a high pony and then like the 2 long slices on the ends, right? And they're both wrapped in like blue fabric.
Yeah.
So I got a brown anime wig with 2 pigtail attachments because then attach the top for the high pony and then deconstruct the second pigtail and do the 2 slices on the front. I was like, that's how we do it. So I've got to style that fucking wig, which is a nightmare. But anyway, I got, I ordered blue belly dancing fabric so that I could have like, you know what I mean? Have it as an accessory to like fly around to make it look like, you know, airbending. And I ordered it. And what came instead, the box was labeled like belly dancing blue fabric. Open it up. It's a giant thing of pearls. And I was like, hello? So I told Amazon and they gave me credit. So I was feeling extra I just had fake Amazon money today. And I did what any adult would do with fake Amazon money, which was like
and Heelys.
Crocs and Heelys.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I know.
Fucking brilliant.
I know.
No one will hate. When is that shoot anyway?
Easter Sunday.
4th?
Easter Sunday.
Is that what?
I don't know.
I got to keep taking my phone off airplane mode.
God.
When is...
it's like
is
Easter?
Easter. I have to hold the microphone with my chin. It's April 4th.
Yeah. So very soon.
I need to get what we've discovered is I need to order my shit and I need to order it right now.
Yeah. Maybe not right now. Put your phone back in airplane mode.
Phone back on airplane mode.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So anyway. What's your name? Do you think?
I said I'm Chelsea.
Oh yeah, you said you had a headache.
I had a headache because Puffin is expensive.
Yeah.
His little hips hurt.
Yeah, he's a low rider dog, so you have to like give him his own treatments.
Yeah, and I think I don't know what it's from. The vet said that dogs who are long, like corgis, can get hip problems because their legs don't support them necessarily under their center of gravity, so it puts more strain on them. But he was also thrown out of a car when his first owners abandoned him. So what I want to do is I want to find him and kill him and take their money. Yeah. Because it's like $1,000 for his pain treatment.
Yeah.
But I'm also doing like the funsy pain treatment. And I call it funsy pain treatment because they're going to do like acupuncture for dogs. Interesting. Adorable. And then the laser therapy. But I did order a laser off the internet and I'm just going to blast him myself.
This is I have a lot of feelings about that. None of them are great.
Use the laser on myself.
Oh my God. This is a nightmare.
No, it'll be fine.
So, with that said, remember, donate to the Patreon. We split that money in. Chelsea can use it for her dog's acupuncture, and then I will use it for my black tar heroin addiction.
Use it to
just
send
kidding.
people the crystals.
Yeah, we are sending. We did select 2 winners for the crystals, and we're gonna give them crystals and a little bit extra, little extra, just because.
Yes.
So yeah, expect those. And anyway.
So something happened last week.
Something did happen last week.
You came to my home.
I did. People know we said it on the last episode.
Yeah. And you came to my home and I got an HBO Max subscription because I didn't know HBO was different.
Even though I have HBO Max.
I panicked and I got it.
Okay.
Now I've got it.
Well,
I've already given the password to my father.
It's really good. It is good. Honestly, HBO Max is the best subscription.
I canceled my Shudder.
Oh my God.
Max. So,
there's someone out there with a Shudder who's going to give it to you.
I did not watch a single thing on Shudder.
I do. Shudder just came out with The Devils, which was like this banned movie from the 60s.
Well, then I'll just get your password for it.
It's not mine, it's someone else's.
I'll just get Ichabod's password for it.
That's the thing, though. Like I said on the podcast that I wanted to watch Ghost Adventures, but it's on an app now with a fucking paywall. Yeah. A listener DM me her shit. I watch Ghost Adventures now. So
perfect.
This is also Chelsea's call out. If anyone has a Shudder login.
Yeah. We'll switch.
Yeah, she'll give you the HBO
Max. I'll send you my student number and you can get discounts on things that give student ID discounts.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I also got a pair of Converse. Mm-hmm. And I had Chelsea sign up for it because they give students 15% off and free shipping. So fuck you. But yes, something did happen last week.
You came over to my home.
Yeah. At 7 o'clock. 7 p.m.
7 p.m. We had
Mountain Standard Time.
Mountain Standard Time. We had an assortment of snacks.
We had to because this was about to be a 4-hour adventure.
Yes, because what we did was we sat down and watched the Snyder Cut on purpose.
Yeah. In its entirety, no breaks.
No breaks. And there's so many other ways I could have spent my time.
Honestly,
dare I say the best part of the night was the friendship. And you also got to taste my cuisine of pickle soup.
Yes, I will say that was the best part of the night. The best part of the night was hanging out with friends. We tried to do a drinking game and almost died.
There was only one rule.
And we almost died.
Yeah.
So the rule was let me see if I can find the audio without being the worst. So everyone knows the iconic Wonder Woman warrior drums, like whatever that fucking is. So that's cool and that's grand. That's great. But they decided to, on top of that, throw in what the closed captions called lament music.
Lamentations.
Oh, lamentations.
And it was like.
It was like weird chanting. We called it the Lemons,
yeah,
which is why I was blanking on the fucking name of it. Yeah, the Lemons. Anytime, I'm not exaggerating, anytime Wonder Woman appeared on screen for any reason, whether she had dialogue or not, whether it was just a pan to a side view of her face, they played this music, and that was the goal. Then we were like, okay, we are going to drink every time we hear the lemon music.
Yeah. Literally every fucking time.
Literally every fucking time.
Glasses of wine on that drinking game alone.
We had to stop, no joke, in the 3rd hour because everyone was like, yo, we about to die.
Yeah. I think there was one other one where it's like, if something good happens, finish your drink. And we finished our drinks one time.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
So when the movie first started, Also, spoiler alert. But I'm gonna put that in the title. Remember the last time we talked about like Spider-Man or something?
Yeah, years after it had come out, right?
Literally, we talked about like Spider-Man 3 in like 2020, and someone was like,
such an angry
"Hello,"
DM.
and it was like, so it's like saying like spoiler alert talking about the Bible. Like, bro, it's your fault now. But anyway, fucking that show's so good.
I loved that guy.
Me too.
Oh, please write us again.
I know, please. So it's like anytime something better than the original happens, take a drink. And in the first half of the movie, it was like making fun. Like we set that as the rule, but then it became like Bruce Wayne is traversing a mountain peak in dress shoes, take a drink, because that's good. But we were doing it facetiously.
Yes.
Just like we accidentally saw a Gillette 5-blade razor commercial for like a whole minute.
Yeah.
Take a drink.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, the Wonder Woman music came on, and we were like, we have to pick one. So let's only do if something good actually did happen.
Yeah.
And we only did that once.
And I don't even remember what it was.
Yes, you do.
Was it Martian Manhunter?
Martian Manhunter, yeah.
Only good thing.
So here, before we talk about it, I'm going to say, because I got feedback from someone.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Friend of a podcast, of the podcast, about, they were like, because immediately they were like, what did you think? And I was like, a waste of 4 hours.
Yes.
Why did they call it the Snyder Cut? Nothing was cut. That was literally 135 hours of film nonstop rolling, and they said use all of it unnecessarily.
Yes.
We would have a walking scene for fucking 2 minutes with absolutely no dialogue.
Literally anytime there was action, it was slow motion.
Yeah. And then there were also moments where it was like partially slow motion, like when Wonder Woman is throwing the bomb out of the bank. It was like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It was like slow-mo fully, and then partial slow-mo, and then full scenes with absolutely no dialogue, which is totally fine unless the scene is just someone walking.
Yeah.
We don't need to see it.
Right.
A lot of wasted time. Like there's watching that movie made you realize why editing is so important when it comes to film.
Yeah.
You really do have to trim the fat, because there was no fucking reason. The first hour of the movie is a goddamn waste of time.
Yep.
It's just exposition that no one needed, that no one wanted.
Right.
Absolutely no explanations for anything. Even it was like, we're gonna over-explain something,
and then not explain the other.
and then the ruins. Wonder Woman is in the Colosseum looking at ruins. No explanation.
So
no dialogue.
So what? Just super brief background on the Snyder Cut. He made a mess, and then they brought in Joss Whedon to make another mess.
Yeah.
So Snyder got very salty at the reception of his masterpiece, and he released these ideas and these concepts that he promised were going to be in his film. And the fans, not the Justice League fans, not the comic book fans, the Snyder fans went fucking rabid. They heard about the opening scene featuring Darkseid. They heard about Wonder Woman finding like the parademon stuff. They heard all of these different things, and they're like, bruh, this sounds better. So Snyder went on a rampage in Hollywood, and dare I say, had just enough clout to get it released. And what's the studio going to say? We don't want more money?
Yeah.
Of course they're going to let him pitch his fit, you know?
Yeah.
And then what we got, in my opinion, was better than the Whedon film, but it was a polished turd.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
It was it better than Whedon? Yeah. But
Absolutely.
what are we comparing it to? Dog shit.
We're comparing it to Whedon.
Literally, like, bars on the fucking floor.
It's like someone brought a big bowl of poop. Yeah. They're like, would you like this?
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want it. So they cut the poop and then diluted it with like 4 times the water.
Oh, speaking of 4, that 4:3 ratio cut that we had to watch the movie in.
It's for artistic reasons.
It was like the whole group was watching a movie on an iPhone.
Yeah.
I could not believe.
I didn't understand the artisticness behind that ratio. I don't understand.
You know what? They say Jackson Pollock was artistic, and I think that just looks like splattered fucking paint. So, you know.
Not wrong.
What was this? 4:3 ratio?
I prefer Picasso's blue period.
As do I. I love Picasso. I really do love Picasso. But anyway, I'm like, just because you say it's art What is that? Where?
Bitch, where?
I'm not saying define art, but I'm also saying putting your 4-hour bullshit movie in 4:3 ratio is not art.
No. And also people just use art to like
Explain
launder money.
away. Also, yes.
Like actual art, yeah.
Yeah. So this person was
the fan
like,
reached out to you.
Like, what did you think? And I was like, well, do you want my honest opinion? I think that was the biggest waste of 4 hours I've ever had. The only two good redeeming things about that film were Superman and Martian Manhunter. I love Goth Superman. I live for Goth Superman. I think Superman was the only one who got the notice that they were making a superhero movie and everyone else was cosplaying.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Well, I did like Cyborg. I thought that in the Whedon, I thought that this film did well in giving Cyborg more time, but I don't think that's a Snyder thing. I think that was like Ray Palmer thing because that guy fucking nailed it.
You liked Cyborg?
I thought he did great.
Oh my, okay. Well, hold on. Let me, so I said these things and then I was like, when I see a superhero movie, I want them to be superheroes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I want to see people kick ass. I want to see Batman tech. I want that. I want that. And I did not get that here. I did not get that at all. I got a Superman movie with extras, if I'm being real.
You got a Superman commercial in the middle of a 4-hour movie.
It's true, 1,000%. And then this person was like, you have become movie jaded. You can't watch like blockbusters and look at them objectively anymore. This was fun. This was a good time. This is a good movie. And I'm like, no. I love camp. I love summer blockbusters.
We watched Slamageddon. I enjoyed it.
Oh my God. We'll have to talk about that on Patreon. We talked about how I recently rewatched Blade.
Blade's great.
It's great camp, but it's like, you know, I'm not like, well, actually about my movies. I like watching superhero movies that are a little bit cheesy, a little topical, I would say.
Right.
But that wasn't this. Like I love the Avengers.
Yeah.
I thought Endgame was great. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's a good time. I don't think Zack Snyder's Justice League is a good time.
Me either. And I would also say you're not. I think that you are very cinematically intelligent. Like you can appreciate an artistic film the way that maybe I won't.
Sure.
I want to say that I'm a superhero purist and I am a superhero snoot.
Yeah.
When I watch a movie and I don't get the elements of what makes a character each character, I don't like them.
Yeah.
That's why I have a huge problem with Batfleck. I don't think he encompasses the spirit of Batman, period, point blank. Wonder Woman was not as likable in this film as she was in her own movies.
Very much so. I will never forget seeing the first Wonder Woman and like leaving the theater with like welting eyes.
Yeah,
like
I cried.
It was amazing.
She comes out through no man's land and she's fucking had it.
Mm-hmm.
Tears.
Yeah.
When I was giving my Wonder Woman review on Nerd Dome podcast, I choked up and I cried at the part where she goes to retrieve the armor and she doesn't know what she's capable of yet, but she's like, I got to do it. And she jumps into that tower and I cried because I was like comparing it to my sister Jessica. And I was like, that's how I view my sister. And she was still alive then. And then I remembered that and I spoke at her funeral. And I'm like, if you want to know what Jessica was like, watch this scene. And that was her. And I'm like, there are people here who are just here to support the family. That's awesome. If you want to know what she was like or you want to be reminded of what she was like when you miss her, watch that scene. And so and that's why I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking protect Wonder Woman. But then seeing her in this,
it was upsetting.
I'm like, what is she capable of in this movie? Like, what did we see that she's capable of? Because
taking a headbutt.
Yeah, she had her entrance, but even that did not seem capable because it was always playing catch up. I don't like watching superheroes play catch up.
Yeah.
She's fighting these dollar store criminals and she's trying to block bullets and stuff. Yeah, that's fun, but that's D-list superhero. Wonder Woman doesn't need to play catch up to them.
Yeah.
She's already handled the situation. And then there's one guy standing there and we've just watched 6 minutes of her catching bullets with her bracelets, and she instead chooses to like blast him out the window and cause all this structural damage. But we're also supposed to believe that she's in the art restoration business, but she's going to damage the infrastructure of this 1,000-year-old bank. Couldn't swallow it. And that's not me really tearing a movie apart. That's the only way I can say it, is I hate watching my superheroes play catch up. They can play catch up to Darkseid and Steppenwolf. They're the big bad. Why is she playing catch up in the very beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
Like, she's trying to run up to get on the pace of these bad guys the whole time.
And I mean, like, let's talk about that scene, because this is technically the beginning of the movie. My bones to pick with what they did to Wonder Woman here. And I've seen all the girls. I can run in heels. I can run in heels. It's not a problem. Yeah. But every single scene that Wonder Woman was in where she was not in her outfit, they had her in what I would call like wet seal clearance section attire. Yeah. She was them telling us like, oh, she's been taking a hiatus doing this art history restoration, was her in a white club dress that's like what would you call that, like laced up the side, like shoelaced up both sides, taking a makeup brush and not even brushing off this marble statue. And that was how they showed us that.
It's the male gaze on Wonder Woman. Yeah. It was just like, ugh.
It was so weird. I was like, why is Diana it's like when you got work at 7 in the club at 8. I was like, why are we fucking...
Yeah.
And then
she was dressed how she was dressed in fucking Fast and Furious.
Literally, it looked like
candy.
Literally, she was wearing the same wardrobe from Fast and Furious. And like, no tea, no shade, but also, what? I'm sorry, what? Why? Hello? And then the whole bank scene... Why did that exist? And don't get me wrong, I love fight scenes. I love it.
It wasn't a fight scene.
Wasn't a fight scene. And what was the point? What was the point of that scene to drive forward the plot of the movie?
It was her stumbling her way through trying to stop a robbery, albeit it was cool. But that's first film shit. That's not Justice League shit. Wonder Woman doesn't need to hurry up and try to catch up to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then the super cringy moment of like, I want to be like you, or whatever.
Can I be like you?
She's like, you already are. I
could not.
If you put a finger up my butthole, I would have clenched it so hard I would have chopped it clean off.
I agree. It was so cringy. It was so fucking, it was like that. Oh, someone write in a line about girl power here.
Yeah.
I was appalled.
I was just like, oh my God, that's not how people speak.
Literally, it was so, that whole entire scene was kind of like it. You know, when AI bots generate scripts based off of like, it would be like, we made an AI watch 8,000 hours of TV and then made it write a script.
Yeah.
That's what that whole entire scene went down as.
Yeah.
It was this shitty not fight scene where she's catching up to some criminals who are there for whatever reason. We don't know. It's never explained to us. They're only seen this one time.
They're robbing a bank full of children.
You know how children hang out in banks.
Yeah.
Just whole entire school children, like a group of 30. There's literally no point. You take that scene out, the movie continues on. It makes no sense in the first place.
We already know what she can fucking do.
Yeah, I know she can fucking take down bullets and she has a lasso of truth. How funny was that too? Where she, to describe the lasso of truth, she takes it and she spins it and lassos a dude and she's like, and now you must tell me the truth.
Yeah, she's like, and now because this is the lasso of truth forged by the goddesses to not be bound by men. And you're like,
you have to tell me why you're here robbing this bank. Again, the AI generated script. And so then the bullshit fight happens and then she goes up to all the kids and is like, are you okay? You're okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's fine. You're good.
I want to be like you.
Can I be like you?
She's like, you already are.
Boy.
Get out.
I was embarrassed to be a woman in that scene.
Yeah.
I was like, this is rough. This is what they think everyone wants. They're like, that's how you know at the end of the day, it's not just Zack Snyder. It's a bunch of like 85-year-old dudes in a boardroom being like, the women are yelling. And then they write that line in.
I couldn't.
I was like,
and I won't.
I had gender envy because I was like, I would rather be anything other than what I am right now because of that scene alone.
Yeah. Also, sorry, I have to text my father back.
Fine.
I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you.
I do think you're
I can't ignore my father. When he texts me, I text him back. I also thought I had airplane mode on, the little icons up, but his texts get through.
You can make a setting that says like airplane mode besides, or it's do not disturb. Do not disturb unless these people.
Gotcha.
Which is good. So that's basically Wonder Woman for the entire movie. She's pointless. I'm like, all offense and no offense. She's absolutely pointless to this entire fucking story. To the entire movie, she is pointless.
Yeah, and she does cool stuff, like, but it's also like you can't be nothing and then show up when they need someone to hold off the villain for a few minutes.
That's all that she was there to do. Was when someone was about to get clobbered into the fucking ground, she would show up and take a rock. If she saw something about to fall on someone, she would go and grab it. And that was the entire purpose of Wonder Woman.
Playing catch up. She's sweeping up messes.
Literally. She had absolutely...
like women are wont to do.
Just
cleaning up after the boys.
Cleaning up.
Just cleaned this room. Can you keep it clean for 5 minutes? No, you can't.
And when I say there's pretty much zero dialogue in this movie, oh boy, do I fucking mean it. Yeah. There is, and that's also why she was a pointless character, because she was literally only there in a physical sense because they gave her absolutely no lines. And I'm not saying Gal Gadot's a great actor. She's not. In this film, especially not. But what the fuck was that? And then that brings me, I know we technically in chronological order, we should talk about Flash, but you said that you liked Cyborg.
I do think they did a good job with him. I think that is what Cyborg is, like, in the comic books, is like coming to terms with the fact that he is no longer the human that he thought he was. And as he goes through this journey of the movie, he becomes very capable. I think he is the literal only one with character development in the entire film.
I agree that he's the only one with character development. But I also felt like the hand-fisted character development they were forcing us to swallow between Cyborg and Flash was too much. Here's the problem I have with Flash. I love Flash, one of my favorite characters. Sure.
He's fucking fun.
He's
Barry
great.
Allen, Wally West, Jay Garrick, don't care.
I would say insert
any speeder.
Insert any speeder.
Yeah.
You've got DC Spider-Man. Like, he's always funny, fun, young, like... He
has financial problems, making ends meet.
Yeah, he's the man's man, but the kid's kid.
Yes.
He's very relatable. I really do think that no matter, and I would say the same thing, put in any Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Put in any Spider-Man. They're the same low-key, same character. Obviously abilities, no. But like, their personality, their growth, their development... I think it's two sides of the same coin.
Here is my problem with Flash in this film.
Sure.
And it is very similar to his strengths, is that Snyder watched Peter Parker come up through the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And he cut and pasted that into this film in the following ways. What does Flash exist to do in this movie other than be a fanboy of like, Jeepers, that's cool. Like, he is
oh, golly gosh, you're Batman.
Yeah, he is a narrator and a fanboy. I wrote down like my specific problems with Flash.
Please. Because I do think unrelated to both cinematic universes, I think the written characters in the comics are two sides of the same coin. I think the differences are very nuanced. Like, I think Peter Parker is more of a aloof genius nerd.
Yeah.
And I think Flash is more calculated, like still genius nerd, but I think he's more like calculated, calm, cool, collected.
Yeah. I mean, I bet that there's like, we could do like a rundown of like the similarities and the differences. That'd actually be a really fun episode to talk about. But Flash in this film.
Is
discount Peter Parker for
exactly. We essentially had the Underoos scene from Avengers in this fucking movie between Batman and Flash.
Yes.
And it was too much.
And when you create a character fanboy, you leave literally no room for dimensionality. He had no dimension to him, period, point blank. Every action from him was that he was impressed by the situation. And he served as a punchline only.
Yeah.
Barry Allen, like why should we care about Barry Allen other than the fact that he's Flash in this film?
Yeah.
They don't talk about why it's important that they have a speedster until like the last 5 minutes. They don't go into what he can do or what his different powers are. They show it for a hot second when he pokes the glass. But when they're trying to get through all these barriers and things and they have Batman blasted open, like that could have been Flash's scene.
Yeah.
They utilized him very little when he does run fast enough to make time go backwards. They did it without the cosmic treadmill. That's nitpicky. I can do with, you don't have to have the cosmic treadmill.
But I think that needs explanation.
Yes.
I would say this too. One of my favorite cinematic explanations for like, I guess no matter what branch of the comic book world they come from, we'll just call them all speedsters for the sake of being sacred.
Yes, speedsters.
I think the best explanation with absolutely no exposition and just visuals is the X-Men scene with Quicksilver when he's going to help Magneto escape. And it's what's his name?
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters is Quicksilver. And the reason I say this is because in that scene alone, they show you the extent of Quicksilver's ability to go fast in different levels and different dimensions.
Yes.
Like how he works within his own ability. Like not only is he going fast enough to prevent a bullet from hitting, but he'll also like move swiftly between the already fast scene to like fuck with the people. You know what I mean? Make a dude punch himself, whatever. So while that's funny to watch, you are also seeing how he can manipulate time within time.
Yes.
And that explains Quicksilver's ability, period. He's not just a guy that goes fast, because he's making the whole situation go so fast that a bullet is speeding so slow that he can physically move it. But then you watch him speed up even faster in the already speed up scene to make someone punch themselves in the face.
And
beautiful.
What we get with Barry Allen is him fixing a girl's hair in slow motion and putting a hot dog in his pocket.
Cringe.
Why? And they could have in that point you're like, oh, he's fast. Why did we need the Wonder Woman scene when we could have dedicated more of that to Cyborg or Flash?
Yeah.
We didn't need introductions.
Yeah.
And Aquaman's movie had already come out technically when the Justice League movie had come out.
Yeah.
So we didn't need as much of Aquaman either. We didn't need the singing.
I needed Jason Momoa without a shirt on.
That's fine. We didn't need the singing about it.
We definitely did not need the Nordic singing.
We didn't need a boat. We got two different introductions to Flash. We got Batman going and meeting him and him going into the water and disappearing. And then we got a boat in the middle of the water and a guy's like, somebody help me, in the middle of the ocean. And he's saved. Why did we need two different?
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah.
We already know what Aquaman can
we
do.
know what he can do.
We didn't need Amber Heard in it.
No, I don't know why the fuck she was there.
That was a choice because of all the problems that she's had in Hollywood with beating the shit out of Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
and
interesting.
twisting the narrative for the last few years.
Yeah, really taking the Me Too movement and saying, actually don't believe women because look
Very
at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just not
and
great.
Now I have egg on my face. I've been shitting on Johnny Depp for years.
I know, same.
So,
that was so stupid. But to what you just said about Flash, though, by making him a fanboy, you make him a one-dimensional character.
Yeah.
What you specifically said, like he's surprised by everything, is true. He is one of the most powerful characters.
Yeah.
He can reverse time.
Yes. And they show that with no repercussions whatsoever.
Absolutely none. He can reverse time. And you are having him go, oh my God, gee willikers, Batman.
Yeah.
Making him genuinely surprised by the ability of everyone in the group and including himself. How can you... And like, it's one thing to have character development. I'll even give you this, that Cyborg did have better character development personally, which ended up also showing in his physical strength and ability.
Yeah.
The emotions were tied to that. And I think they did show that in a good way. Barry Allen... No, they made him, I'm sad. My dad's in prison. He thinks I'm a liar and a cheat. I can go fast enough to put a hot dog in my pocket. now I'm reversing the death of the Justice League.
And
nothing in between.
He speaks about how he knows he shouldn't do it. He's like, oh, he said I would never do this, but I got to do it. And I'm like, when did this realization come about? He should have fucked something up royally by going too fast last time.
Yeah.
Or they should have implied, like, fucking run too quick and kill a bus full of children or something.
Yeah.
You know, like, really up the stakes.
Yeah.
That, like, him going that fast is not a Band-Aid. And that's what they treated it as, was a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Because, like, and we had not nearly enough time to absorb Superman and Cyborg's death when it happened the first time, when Flash had to run backwards. I was like, oh yeah, they died. It was not clear because they were just barely knocked down.
Yeah.
And it showed him laying there, and all of a sudden Flash is running again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they died.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then by that point, they have him running for 1 second. The only time they don't give something enough time in the movie. And then everything's backwards.
Yeah. And then we're back. Like that, I completely agree, because they used Flash's ability to go so fast that he can reverse time, which is given no disposition whatsoever up until the point the sentence is uttered out of their mouths and we're watching him do it. We can't even absorb the fact that the plan failed. Everyone's dead. Nope, he was right as you're watching Superman melt away and the Flash is putting the pieces back together.
Yeah.
So you can't even think about like, oh, this has repercussions in itself.
Yeah.
Because it's not given enough like exposition, time, and space to breathe on its own to be like, if I do this, I will bring them back, but I don't know what else is going to come back with them.
In the comic books, when Flash does run fast enough to save his mom, he goes back in time to make it so that she's not murdered. What ends up happening is in the future, everything's fucked. So Batman, like Bruce Wayne is the one who dies, and his dad becomes Batman, and his mom becomes the fucking Joker, and the world is basically ended. That's what happens. It's not just like, haha, you get two weird things happening, or you put Superman back together and everything's fixed. So
and he's blonde now.
Yeah, it's huge repercussions close to the end of the DC universe, not conveyed at all. It was a 2-minute flashback.
Well, I would be pressed to fucking say that 9 out of 10 people who watched that movie and that scene specifically never even thought for a second that what Flash did has repercussions.
No.
It was just a Band-Aid fix to bring back Cyborg and Superman from dying.
Yeah.
Because they never once brought any attention to the fact that that is a time-altering, universe-altering thing that we just
never
did.
Fucking indicated that he could do it. Like, have Cyborg be like, fix it, dude, fucking go backwards, run fast enough, and him being like, it's not worth it, trust me.
Yeah.
Something like, yeah, I did it once and now my dad's in fucking prison. And then you would be like, oh, what happened there? 2 seconds of dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, like he could have indicated like, oh, like, why is your dad in prison? And then he could have been like, oh, I fucked with the space-time continuum, or something bigger. Like, how'd your mom die? Fucked with the space-time continuum. Give us repercussions of that.
Yeah.
And then hint at it at least more than once.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been perfect.
They did more hinting that something bad's gonna happen when they drop the mother box into the Superman dead soup than they did for the entire Flash running
and then the
sequence.
Anti-life formula.
Yeah.
They're like, it's the anti-life formula.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what is that?
Yeah. We don't know. They're like, why is Steppenwolf here in the first place? And they're like, anti-life formula. Bye.
Yeah,
Never going to talk about that again.
Darkseid was here before.
Yeah.
He was on Earth. He fought. You showed us the beginning scene. Darkseid was here, and now he doesn't know where Earth is again? How'd that happen? Oh, he got his ass kicked so hard by Zeus and the Green Lanterns. I'm like, why the fuck aren't they coming back and fighting him?
They gave us, which we should also say, they gave us one Green Lantern in a flashback fight scene to that.
Yeah.
And also, can we say, in that fight scene, that lantern dies and his ring floats up, and then we never know what happens there.
No, fuck you. You don't get to know.
What?
So yeah,
What?
and then so
what?
Here's my big problem, Zack. I have quotes from Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder
Please,
is an
please
asshole.
tell me why you gave us one Green Lantern in the fight of the worlds and then killed him, watched his ring float up, which if anyone knows, that's a big fucking deal.
The biggest deal.
The biggest deal in the whole entire world. Whoever catches that ring, and they showed one of the like baddies, one of the like I don't even know.
Darkseid himself almost fucking gets it. He holds his hand out like it never would have picked him, but he holds his hand out like he's gonna do something.
Yeah,
about
like
it.
That in itself is a universe smashing scene, and we saw it in the peripheral.
Yep. So
how intentional too. If you're gonna kill a lantern and watch his ring pop off, that's it. That's it. And then nothing. It was never touched on, never brought up again. I was like, hello.
And the other Lantern Corps would have been made aware of such a thing, and they would have fucking come running.
Shown up.
And dare I say that even though there's a lantern per sector, they have converged before to assist in multi-sector things. And the fact that other lanterns did not show up or keep an eye on it, if they've already been aware of Darkseid, because Oa would have kept that in their records, and there are lanterns that can live that long and would have remembered it. So the fact that they want us to believe that Darkseid came and that he's some eternal immortal being who doesn't remember that he had been to Earth before, and that's where the anti-life code is. There's other beings that old. You showed Zeus fucking fighting.
Yeah.
Bring Zeus back. Also, that was not obvious it was Zeus. I had to Google it. Remember, we were like, is that Ares?
Oh,
it was Zeus.
That was Zeus? Well, it looked like Ares.
It looked like Ares.
They had
because he had short brown hair, and a Leonidas beard.
Literally, I was gonna
like,
say,
is that Ares?
I thought it was Ares,
and I was like, is it old fucking Shazam? He's throwing lightning.
Oh my god, I can't believe that was Zeus.
Zeus.
You saying that to me? I thought
Revelation.
it was. I literally put it in my mind as Ares.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what Ares is doing throwing lightning. It did not even register to me that would be Zeus, because I was like, it doesn't. No part of this.
He looked like extra from 300.
Yeah, and that was Zeus.
Wow, great job there. Great job there, Snyder.
I did write this rant on Facebook, but this is
please share it.
Here's my problem.
Please
Snyder.
share it.
Snyder has time and time again told people that he takes things directly from the comic book pages and puts them on the screen.
That's a lie.
But it is a fucking lie. And he has given shitty interviews about comic book fans in the past, specifically saying that, quote, we are living in a fucking dream world because people have complained about the ways he's depicted superheroes in the past, specifically murder fests. And he flexes that fans who know true canon will love his film, and that fakers, such as you and I, will be exposed if we criticize anything he does.
What a win-win argument.
Yeah. So let me just say this though. Then, as we just explained, he has the audacity to introduce the lanterns.
Yeah.
Has the audacity to introduce Martian Manhunter, and then curb them during the final battle against Darkseid, which is inherently fucking problematic.
Yeah.
Because these characters would have been front fucking center for that fight. The Green Lantern specifically, because he has one job, protect the sector of Earth.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make a fucking appearance.
That's the thing I'm saying is like, and that's how within the first half of this movie that Zack Snyder doesn't give a fuck, because all I had to see was that measly Green Lantern dying and the ring floating up in front of Darkseid, and I was like, that's a universe destroying situation.
Yeah.
That is a universe destroying situation. We don't even get to know if that really happened and we're staying canon to the comics like he thinks he is. We don't, that's where the movie ends. And we don't even get to see Steppenwolf come back down years later to fight the Justice League. They don't exist anymore.
No.
Because a lantern's ring just went up in the middle of a battle on Earth. Someone's going to get it.
And then that's
nothing.
It.
That's it.
And then he says, fuck you, if you criticize that, you're not a true fan.
That's a fucking
and it's goop worthy. You don't have to, and it's not even like, oh, if you missed that scene, you're not a true fan. It's that he shits on people who are like, I don't like the fact that you have Superman and Batman just straight up murdering the fuck out of people. And he goes, fuck you, you're living in a fucking dream world. That is a quote.
I mean, I just,
Here's another one.
Please.
So here's a comic book quote from him. He said, I had a buddy who tried getting me into quote unquote normal comic books, but I was all like, no one's having sex or killing each other. This isn't really doing it for me. And here's his quote about Batman. He said, Batman's dark. And I'm like, okay, no, Batman's cool. He gets to go to a Tibetan monastery and get trained by ninjas. Okay, I want to do that. But like, he doesn't get raped in prison, but that could happen in my movie.
He really said that?
Fucking quote, baby. Google it.
Jesus Christ.
He doesn't.
Wow.
He doesn't fucking get it.
It's a la carte. It's a la carte. It's comic book lore a la carte. He says, I like when Superman comes out in a black suit, like Death of Superman shit. I love that. No, but that's all I'm picking. I'm only picking that one scene, and then I'm going to say, fuck you, anyone who criticized this.
And I may hurt your feelings on my problems with Superman. I will never criticize Henry Cavill. I respect you too much.
Thank you so much. Not in this house. We can't.
The way that Snyder does Superman is he is a body and nothing else. Even all the way back to his Dawn of Justice and his Man of Steel.
Oh my God.
He writes Clark Kent slogging through a plot where he isn't motivated by passion or like compassion of the human race. He is just the strong man who can do anything he wants, all power, no clarity. So here's why that's a fucking problem.
Please.
Even in his movie, he like when he's literally saves a bus full of children, and his dad, Papa Kent, is like, you shouldn't do that because everyone's going to know who you are. And then,
oh my God, don't even get me started about that scene alone.
Papa Kent, and then has the audacity, Papa Kent, under the bridge, the tornado comes and Clark watches and doesn't save him so he doesn't expose himself. I have a huge problem with that.
Clark Kent would not.
No.
He would not.
Martha, his mother, why'd I say that name? Because that's his mom's name, but I feel like I had to say that thing. Looks him in the eyes and says, you don't owe this world a thing. And this is so problematic for me because the people have a problem with Superman because of how he is depicted in Snyder's films. And that's everybody else sucks until Superman comes up.
Yeah.
Because when you write Superman as the body and not the moral Boy Scout, that's where you have a problem. It's doing the right thing despite the bullshit. So he could have been looking at Lois being like, I love you, don't leave me. And him being like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's him breaking the hearts, like Clark Kent being not a good person, being unreliable, being late all the time, so that Superman can be the ultimate person.
Yeah.
And the way that Zack Snyder portrayed him as someone who doesn't owe the world anything, we already have storylines like that. Read Earth 1. Read Kingdom Come when Superman just doesn't want to help and you see the world fall to shit. Such a good rendition. The way he wrote Superman doesn't work for me. I don't fucking get it. There were cool parts when he shows up and blows on Steppenwolf's axe and then it breaks.
Bro.
Cool.
That, I would also say, like, I partially agree with you here because my beef with Superman comes back from Man of Steel. My beef with Superman comes from the way Snyder wrote him. Specifically, I will always bring it up. Every time we've talked about Superman, I bring it up. Superman would not let his dad die.
No.
That does not exist. Never, ever. That is written in for the movie. And with that one scene, they tarnish Superman's moral integrity
100%
for forever, because that scene upset me so much because I'm like, Clark Kent would not let his father die when he has the full ability to save him.
Wouldn't let anybody fucking
Never.
die.
No one.
100 years, absolutely not.
He doesn't care if it exposes him.
No.
He's Superman.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. So that always pissed me off. And I agree that there were like parts of that. I guess in this movie, first of all, very funny that the first thing the police do when Superman comes back to life is shoot him. Very on brand.
Accurate, yeah.
Very only
The
only
suit
on
was black that time.
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah.
Just kidding. He didn't get his black suit at that time. It was just like, an off-color joke. If it's an off-color joke, hopefully the police don't try to shoot it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That was the only accurate thing the whole movie had, was that the police just start shooting people for no reason. I will say rather than being like, because like I agree Clark, Superman, loves Lois Lane.
Yeah.
I agree. But what is Superman's moral conundrum other than the balance of Lois Lane and Clark Kent and Superman in the world? And in that moment, because that's always the battle, because even though you don't want to admit it, because it kind of hurts a little bit, he will always pick the world.
Yep.
Always. That's the reason why his relationships are always rough with Lois, why they're always fighting, because he doesn't show up, he's late, he's quote unquote forgetful, because he's saving the world.
Yep.
They gave Lois Lane the power of the world in this movie. It was her.
Yeah.
She was the thing that he saw. It wasn't the city falling apart. It wasn't.
It was his love.
It was his love for Lois Lane was the only thing that grounded him back to reality and made him not be a death machine.
And it essentially erased everything in his backstory, period, point blank, of making Clark Kent be a Superman.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he is the Boy Scout.
Yeah.
While he does love Lois Lane, and while I will agree, if something happens to Lois Lane, you will get a version of injustice where Superman is killing people. I agree that will exist. But
it could exist.
It could
Could
exist, but Superman will always choose humanity over his personal relationship.
And we have seen that in the fucking comics where he does something questionable for the greater good. And it was an identity crisis. So super fucking quick backstory. Justice League members are wiping the memories of bad guys if they find out the secret identities of heroes. Batman finds out, loses his shit. He's like, I'll fuck every one of you up. And he starts fighting, like physically fighting. They snatch his ass, wipe his memory, do that too. When people start putting together, like, how the fuck doesn't Clark know? And they're like, Clark hears what he wants to hear. And it shows him sitting there, like, clear the fuck away in a different city and like a single tear rolling down his eyes because he knows that, like, that bullshit is necessary to keep the Justice League together for the greater good. Morally reprehensible. He's not constantly doing good. That's not Superman. It's him doing the greater good.
Yeah.
And when you see that in, like, Red Sun, for example, he's doing the greater good for Mother Russia, but that's what he does. He respects the boundaries of land masses in most of the comics. He's like, oh, I can't go there without military permission.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is more complex than what Snyder did, but Snyder sits there and says, no, fuck you. You're not a comic book fan like I am.
I just,
And I'm like, show me the comics then.
Yeah.
You know, like Injustice was like, what, 2 minutes of it was like an end scene where it was like, oh, there's like Injustice. Or like Rock of Ages was another one where Superman goes bad. And it's like, if you want to do somebody shitty, don't molest our characters into fitting your rubric. Just do those characters.
That's the thing, though. I would completely agree with you. There are alternate universes where Superman does bad things because he's gone bad, period, point blank. That is not in Justice League's timeline.
No.
You gave us bad Superman in a dream sequence of what we'll all agree is probably injustice. Leave it there. Leave it there.
Yes.
Why are you bringing it here?
Yes.
It's like he didn't realize that Superman just coming back from the dead gives him a black suit. He thought that he had to have like a moral conundrum, and that's why he wears black.
And we already saw bad Superman. Why are we doing it twice? You did it for 5 minutes, and then Lois comes and her love saves him. But then you're going to imply that because Lois died, he went bad again. So like his mom, Bruce, Diana, Wally, Victor, all these people, the rest of mankind doesn't fucking matter anymore. And you want me to swallow that and believe that that's real? Like, that doesn't exist. Superman says, like, fuck you to mankind then, and then he leaves.
Yeah, he leaves. That's the thing. He leaves.
Yeah. He's not going to stick around doing the good fight.
No, but he's going to go.
And he's gone.
Yeah.
That's how Superman's like,
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I will 100% give you that. If Lois dies, his mom dies, he's not lasering the entire world to pieces. He's gone.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck you then.
Yeah.
saw it in Kingdom Come. He went and fucked off on his farm, and the world was falling apart, and he lives in like a little dome.
Yeah.
And they're like, for God's sakes, like the world is falling apart. And he's like,
No.
good weather today.
Yeah.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's what Clark does. He has the power of disassociation. And okay, so we see Clark go bad. Cool, we'll just bring Lois back. No, we'll show it to you again, but this time Lois is dead. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. So before we get into the injustice scene, anything else we want to wrap up about? I think we hit on the biggest pain points of
I do want to end
movie.
with why Batman was terrible.
I will say, watching Batman, specifically on the Superman has gone bad, he's risen from the dead. I called it his Undertaker moment. During Superman's Undertaker moment, everyone was fighting besides Batman, who I'm assuming was stuck in traffic because we don't see Batman doing any Batman-like things. I'm like, was his Uber? Like, was he taking Uber Pool and they had like 4 other stops? Where the fuck was he? And that's where I say, when I want my Supermans, I want Batman tech.
Yeah.
Why did Batman show up late in Gotham City traffic or what the fuck ever? Oh no, they weren't in Gotham because it was at the Superman memorial. But like, why? What? He shows up late and then he shows up shocked, and I was like, in what world? What? He's watching? He's sidelining? Hello?
And yes, and the reason why I hold Ben Affleck responsible for this,
I think you're right for that.
is because he was an executive producer. He put his power and his money that he had on the line to make certain calls in this movie. The legacy of Batfleck for the last 7 years is what? What is it?
I don't think you can, because
What? No. Just what is it? What is the legacy of Batfleck for the past 7 years? Does he have one other than shitty movies? Like, what did he do within the movies?
here's the thing though.
Was it Martha? Why did you say that name? What is it? You can't. What's that?
No.
What's the answer?
Bat v Soup, I think was great. I think that's the version of Batman I want to see.
No.
Unhinged tech Batman.
Playing catch up the whole time with that too. All he did was dodge shots in that fucking movie.
It's Superman, but
Watch him in the fight scene against Bizarro or whatever at the end. Constantly dodging shots.
well,
That's
the thing that fucking killed me about this scene is like, those are your two guys.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna play Zack Snyder's version of Justice League game and say that Superman is gonna kill humanity right now after Undertakering, Wonder Woman's not taking headshots. It's Batman. That's his fight. That's his guy. Why was Aquaman throwing more punches than Batman in that scene?
Because Ben Affleck did not.
I think
Ben Affleck is the Zack Snyder in such a small scale because he only gave a shit about fucking up Batman instead of fucking up everyone else. An executive producer. He's not a victim of the bad writing. He had skin in the game to make changes.
I don't think he did. I think just because he says executive producer doesn't mean shit about dick.
It 100% does, because he told the fans that a bad Batman would not happen on his watch. So he put his pink slips on the fucking line, and I don't think he delivered. So I want his shit in my driveway because I'm the owner now.
I don't think that he could have done anything to make Zack Snyder write him a better character.
I think he absolutely could have. I think he could have been like, Batman needs to be in this scene.
Batman needs to be fighting. But I just think it was such a point to make Batman show up late and watch and be pathetic and be saved by Lois fucking Lane.
Huge problem.
I think that was out of Ben Affleck's control.
He was just playing catch up the whole time. You can play catch up to Darkseid because you have to build, or like Steppenwolf, you have to build some sort of thing of being like, fuck, maybe we don't got this.
By the fucking way, I just had a flashback to Steppenwolf. Zack Snyder's version of Steppenwolf is
like the Terminator.
Yeah. Anyway, no one heard that.
No one heard the audio give out completely.
No one heard that.
Sorry.
But nice. Chelsea was saying how Steppenwolf is like Terminator here.
Close the bathroom door.
And oh my God, that's going to sound so bad. And I would say Steppenwolf in Snyder's version is just Thor 1. Like the first Thor.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah.
That's it. Like the spiky fucking like, I don't even know, space robot-y dudes. That's Steppenwolf in this movie.
And do not make one of your main characters 100% CGI. Not even motion capture shit. 100%
my God.
CGI.
The CGI in this movie was atrocious.
Every time that I said it looked like we were watching a video game, we should have taken a drink, but we would have been fucking dead. It looked like video game graphics.
Yeah.
Because even Batman walking was CGI.
Yeah.
Football, CGI.
Yeah.
Everything fucking CGI.
Yeah. It was so bad, dude. It was
So what the fuck did Snyder do?
Also, saying that the CGI in this movie was like watching a video game is an insult to like Arkham Asylum or any of the it was worse. It reminded me of the first Harry Potter movie CGI level. It was so fucking bad.
And it's like we can get used to like some CGI. Thanos obviously was like more motion capture placed over like Josh Brolin's head.
Yeah.
It clearly wasn't real, but it didn't take you out of the moment.
Yeah. This was straight up computer generated CGI.
And if they could have done a practical effect, they wouldn't have fucking done it.
Yeah, it was. I forgot how insufferable the CGI was. Also, you're going to tell me that like Earth's greatest heroes can't keep their little special boxes safe? It was unbelievably easy. Like taking candy from a child.
Yeah.
How quickly.
The person who gave up the best fight was fucking Cyborg's dad, and he got his ass smoked.
Yeah. What?
They all would have died without Cyborg's dad heating the mother box up.
Yeah. Literally. Because everyone else, the world's greatest superheroes, gods, literal gods, could not do their jobs. But, you know.
Well, I could have put up with shitty CGI. I could have put up with a long-ass movie. But if you're not taking the characters that have been fleshed out over fucking decades, longer than a lot of our lifetimes, and be loyal to that idea, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You have I'm going to say it again. We have 7 years of Batfleck, and what do we have from that? What has he done? Nothing. What are we going to take from the Flash scene? A hot dog? What are we going to take from Cyborg? Like, what do you take from that? Like, when you see things like Christian Bale versus Heath Ledger, like Batman Joker, you take things from that have changed pop culture.
Sure.
You have the idea of like, we live in a society, and like, you know, people emulate that like in terrible ways, right? Like that influence, like you have the people who were influenced by that Joker, like the guy who shot up the movie theater, like stuff like that. Like it was impactful, and those are like terrible ways to impact a culture, but like they had a soul. These movies had a soul. Like Christian Bale did such a great, I think he did such a great fucking Batman. I'm really excited for what our Pats is going to do.
I'm so excited for our Bats.
What did any of these characters do to elicit any type of emotional response that meant something?
I completely agree with you wholeheartedly. And I think that's for the entire cast.
Yeah.
And specifically,
100%, not just Batman.
Yeah,
like
specifically.
Everybody.
Like, I think the most egregious one for me personally, and I think for you as well, was Wonder Woman. I think they made her insufferable and low-key pathetic.
Yeah.
And they took Flash, who holds the power of the universe, truly, and made him like mouth agape fanboy.
Yeah.
You had Superman lose his humanity when that is the key component of Superman as a character, period.
And then shows up to the final fight and a douchebag almost. He's like, ha, 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 I'm gonna blow on this, and then
but
be like,
literally that was so redeeming for me, watching Superman unhinged, because that's what I want. That's what I was waiting for this whole movie. And that's why I said, to me personally, Superman is the only good thing about this film, is because you're fighting for the world. You're not fighting for your city. You're not fighting a bad guy in a bank with the children. You are fighting for the world. You are fighting for the universe. And the only person who showed up for that fight was Superman.
Yeah, but we already saw him do that in Batman v Superman, where he fought to the death. How are you gonna outdo that?
I mean, I don't think it outdid that, but he came back from the dead. That scene I refuse to acknowledge, but the fight with Steppenwolf,
I thought it was fun.
He showed up and was like, "Hi, I'm the only guy I'm the only one who got the notice that this is the end of the world fight."
Yeah.
And that if this like dark matter gets back into the hands of Darkseid, it's over, OVER for everyone. So I'm showing up and I'm Superman. I'm going to beat the motherfucking shit out of you. Yeah. I'm going to take your little fucking axe you've been throwing around. I'm going to blow on it like Jack fucking Frost. It's going to turn into dust. I'm going to sit here and we're going to watch me wail on your fucking face for like 12 frames. And because I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy who got the notice that this is an end of the world fight.
Yeah, I agree. That chunk, like, that's one of the things where I can suspend the thing of like, oh, Superman's going to fix this whole film. Mm-hmm. That's like movie-going critique. That's like a spoiled movie-going critique. I can suspend that and really enjoy that scene.
Yeah.
The other scene that I enjoyed where I actually stood up and screamed was the Martian Manhunter reveal.
But what an upset, though.
And then that's it.
Because what an upset.
I'm like, oh, he's been posing as Martha to make Lois feel better because somehow he knows that Lois has been the key all along.
Yeah.
Nobody puts John Jones in the corner, and Snyder did it. Martian Manhunter is an fucking G in the Justice League.
Yeah.
You don't take him out.
Yeah.
And they made him make Lois feel better. Yeah,
he was there to pat Lois on the back and say, it's going to be okay. Superman, wink, haha,
yeah, like,
hey.
I'm the puppet master behind the scenes.
Yeah. And then the only time he shows up is waking up Brucey from a nap. And he goes, knock, knock. Hey, and this is literally like the fucking line, paraphrasing, but basically it. Hi, I'm Martian Manhunter. Zoop into the sky. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? That's almost as egregious as the whole Green Lantern scene. You just put in a powerful fucking character. You name dropped him. And then pretended like we wouldn't notice he wasn't here for the final fight.
And then we're going to sit there and we're going to paint Batman as this all-knowing, like, I found every single fucking one of you.
Minus him.
But Martian Manhunter's been in the Zack Snyder film since the beginning. That actor has. Mm-hmm. So he's been on the fucking payroll 7+ years.
Mm-hmm. And that's how you know it's an egregious middle finger. Because, you're saying he's been here the whole time.
Yeah.
And he never got tapped in?
Yeah.
He never got tapped in for any of this?
No. You've had...
Not even for this movie, the last one?
You've had Stone Cold Steve Austin sitting there on the fucking sidelines.
Yeah.
And you're tapping in
And this is the Attitude Era.
Yeah. And you got you got the Dudley Boys dicking around. Love the Dudley Boys. Let's just say Matt Riddle. I know he's like going on right now, but I fucking hate him. Matt, if you're listening, go fuck yourself. You're not a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And your wife is a bitch. I'll say it.
Whoa.
So you're just, they tabled John Cena. They tabled Stone Cold. Mm-hmm. They tabled the Phenom. They had AJ Styles waiting to go in. Mm-hmm. And then we're up there watching Matt Riddle twiddle his thumbs.
Yeah. It's
bullshit.
It's insane. It's so, that's the main movie. And then we get 2 minutes of what I assume is a dream sequence and also injustice
sequence, because he wakes up and he's like, what a terrible dream. And then Martian Manhunter comes.
How could I forget? It was just one spit in the face after the other. Yeah, we get the dream sequence, and then we get literally a guy knocking on his door and saying, hi, I'm Martian Manhunter, you're Bruce Wayne, you're Batman. Zoop in the air, and we go, hello?
Let's...
Do you want to unpack the dream sequence?
Jared Leto. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Because the dream sequence is inconsequential. It's a barren wasteland and Superman's gone bad because Lois is dead.
Yeah. And Superman is, from what we can get from the attitude of everyone who's kind of, it's like Mad Maxy. Everyone's hiding.
Yeah, Deathstroke is there, Mira's there.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We did get a scene in the actual movie of Deathstroke, who
would have been a way better villain.
Fucking great, by the way. Who looked fucking great.
He would have been a perfect villain for them to tackle instead of Darkseid and Steppenwolf.
I agree.
Should've
oh my
done
god. So he shows up and jumps on a yacht with Lex Luthor, and this is also the I will say this.
Movie. Yeah, this is not dream sequence.
This is not dream sequence. This is real movie, and I will say I'm now altering my original statement. This is also one of the only good parts of, and I actually think I did say this to the person I was talking to on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I think I just summarized it as Deathstroke showed up. Comic book accurate looking Deathstroke shows up looking like $1 million. A perfect,
amazing.
Perfect.
Joe Manganiello. Love. Or
so good.
You say his name.
So fucking good. Shows up on Lex Luthor's yacht, and Lex Luthor says, if you're looking for Batman, this name will be important to you, Bruce Wayne. And that's the end of the scene.
That's it.
That's
it.
And
let me tell you why Deathstroke would have been a fucking good villain. Because then we could have seen the moral compass of the characters trying to struggle with the fact that they can take this guy the fuck out if they simply kill him, and then them not doing that.
Yeah.
Would have been perfect.
I would have loved for that. Also, like, you have Lex Luthor and Deathstroke running together. I just think it would have been fucking insane, because that's the other thing. You open up the scene with Lex Luthor escaping Arkham, and so anyway,
and Snyder's like, and that's it.
You almost, the way that Snyder, I will say this is my other bone to pick, the way that Snyder did Lex Luthor escaped Arkham made it seem like he was setting up for the Joker, because he had like a laughing lunatic sitting in silence until a guard showed up, and then it was like, Luthor's out, and I was like, what? That was
And I'm like,
Lex
what are the
Luthor?
repercussions of this?
Yeah, I guess not much.
Literally none.
The gangster's out again. The mob is running. So that really did happen. But anyway, so we're in the dream sequence, which I'm summarizing as like bootleg injustice, because it's like apocalyptic Mad Max wasteland. Everyone's working together, including like our baddies and our goodies, and it's them versus Superman, who is gone, full fucking Red Scare, lasers out of his eyes constantly, destroying the world because Lois Lane died. In that scene, everyone's freaking out, being like, he's gonna find us, we have to lay low. And then Batman has a conversation with the Joker, who he's asking for a temporary truce to help fight Clark. And in that scene is where we get the Joker in that the pictures that we saw, the whole "we live in a society," and
which he did not say in the actual movie,
which he didn't say. And in that scene, we get pieces of dialogue that should make every single comic book fan upset, and specifically about this version of the timeline that Zack Snyder decided to talk about, because we get the Joker mentioning killing Robin. So we're in a universe where...
But I liked that
Batman has a... No, I'm saying we need to see it.
Yes.
We need to see it.
Because he's like, oh, Bruce.
Yeah.
Send a boy to do a man's job. And then he says, pick your words very carefully. And then he's like, because I'll fucking kill you. And I was like, cut and paste.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
And then Jared Leto goes,
yeah, Jared Leto gives the worst. But so you get Jared Leto talking about a Robin dying. So we're like, oh, baby. We're talking like death in a family. The one of the darkest, Jason Todd dead by Joker's hand is what we just got there, which is one of the best Batman timelines. If you want to talk about like the reason why I love Batman, because you get the hero versus the human, like dealing with guilt and mortality and almost like borderline suicidal in a way, just like that. I don't care anymore. That's one of the darkest fucking timelines.
Off the rails destruction.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter.
Just literally, just full blown, like
the next most important thing to happen to Bruce Wayne, other than the death of his parents.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. We got hinted at that, and then we're told it was a dream sequence.
Yeah. Let me now fuck this up for you.
What?
Zack Snyder did another interview. The Robin that he was saying that Joker killed, Dick Grayson. Now let's talk about why this is a problem. Dick Grayson is everything that Batman should be. He leaves and becomes Nightwing. Jason Todd is everything that Batman should not be.
Yeah.
His death in the comic books represents a death of Bruce Wayne, but instead of going full good, it's like now he is the Dick Grayson leaves in the comics. Jason Todd comes full Bruce. Jason Todd dies. Bruce goes off the fucking rails.
Well, because he comes Red Mask.
Yeah. Zack Snyder was like, no, in my version, it's Dick Grayson who dies.
That doesn't make any sense.
No other Robin would have fucking come after that. Dick Grayson, everything that Bruce, all the good in Bruce. Jason Todd, all the problems in Bruce. After that, you get Tim Drake, who was never fully recruited as a Robin. He figured out who Bruce Wayne was. So he comes around. And then Damian Wayne is his fucking son. He would not have, like, the lineage of having it stop at perfect fucking Dick Grayson.
That
would have uprooted his entire life, because if Dick Grayson would have died, I dare say that Batman would have fucking killed everyone.
If Dick Grayson would have died, we wouldn't have gotten anything else. We would have did.
Yeah, because it was Dick Grayson who helped pick up the fucking pieces.
Yeah.
Of like, no, Bruce, this wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
Like, you did everything right. Look at me.
Yeah.
And then adorable fucking perfect Tim Drake comes.
Yeah.
And is like, I can be the good again.
Yeah.
Jason Todd
was the questionable Robin.
Yeah.
Obviously, because that's who he becomes a villain later on.
Yeah.
Killed by the Joker.
Yeah.
And that death, the not even good Robin, causes Batman to go unhinged.
Yeah.
I just like it. It
and his
doesn't happen.
Yeah. And he was saying like, no, I think it'd be better if it was Dick Grayson.
But that's, if you want to say you're doing it for the comics, and you just said Joker killed Robin, and then Joker says you brought a boy to do a man's job. We're talking Todd.
No, we're talking Dick.
That doesn't make sense though. That's not comic lore. That's that. And here's my thing. You can fuck around with comic book lore a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the entire plot point of a pinnacle moment in Bruce Wayne's life that changes who he is as a person fundamentally into the future.
You can't change that.
It goes the death of his parents, the death of Robin.
Yeah.
That's where you have your pinnacle moments for Bruce Wayne.
And the death of Jason Todd is, we all fucking killed him. We are all responsible for what the Joker did there, because it was the fans who were like, let him die. Mm-hmm. And then the comic book writers were like, see what happens then.
Yeah.
It was not a punishment, but it was like when fans called in and were like, yeah, have Jason Todd die, because they put it up to a vote. Then DC was like, this becomes like fucking written in then. Mm-hmm. Like, you broke Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Period, point blank.
Yeah.
When Battle for the Cowl happens, when Bruce dies, and then every Robin tries to step into his place, like Dick becomes who Batman should be, and then people are doing bullshit and they're like, oh my god, you're not Batman because you're not going hard enough. Mm-hmm. And then you get another Batman who's killing the fuck out of people, and they're like, who is that? And then that's the return of Jason Todd. Mm-hmm. So you have fucking Dick Grayson versus Jason Todd, epic showdown, and Jason Todd is like, you don't deserve to wear the cowl, and Dick Grayson's like, you deserve to wear the fucking cowl. And it's those two together who make Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. It's like they're really fucking good. Jason Todd did have to die, but it's not Dick Grayson, because when Dick Grayson leaves as Robin, that is a different kind of fucking death.
Yeah. When Dick Grayson leaves as Robin, he doesn't leave in like the mortal dismay. He leaves willingly saying, Bruce, you're not good.
Yep.
You're not good. You're not bad, but you're not good, and I've got to fucking go.
Yeah,
I've got to go
Bruce up
and do my own thing.
He raised him too damn good.
Yeah, and then you get fucking Nightwing.
Yeah,
that is a moral compass point for Bruce, definitely. But I would be pressed to say not even as important to the character growth of Bruce Wayne over the years as the true death of Robin.
Agreed.
So to sit here and rewrite that, that is like saying Batman's parents never died.
Yeah. And Dick Grayson, that never would have fucking happened to, because Jason Todd wasn't a bad Robin, but he was not trained to the caliber of Dick Grayson.
Yeah, and he was a risky. He was a risk taker.
So, and then that was also part of Batman's downfall. He's like, I didn't train him as good as I did with Dick Grayson because I was afraid that he would outgrow me.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And it was, and it's like it. And then Zack Snyder has the audacity to say that we're living in a fucking dream world, that we don't respect true canon.
No.
Dude, I can appreciate, there's so many things that get changed in comic book movies, and I'm like, whatever, fucking that you made it better.
Yeah.
Don't make it worse. And he made it worse.
Yeah, it's taking a pivotal plot point of a character's growth and development and saying, I'm rewriting it. You can't do that. Right. It's like saying Batman wears pink now. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Or it's like, Batman's cowl is a full cutout and everyone can see his full face.
Yeah. What? No.
You're like, what? But
you can't.
What? Yeah.
You can't. I am so upset that you just told me that right now.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say my biggest bone to pick was that they hinted at that timeline and then said, fuck you, it's a dream sequence. And also in that timeline, we have Harley dying and Batman saying, Harley, I was with Harley when she died, assuming by hinting at Joker's hand.
Yeah.
And she told me to make you suffer. And I'm going to honor that. So you get this, these hinting points of lines of stories that would be so fucking cool to see. How many Batmans have we had in the last decade? Mm-hmm. We got a fucking little butterfly kiss of Joseph Gordon-Levitt being being Robin potentially.
Yep.
At the end of the Nolanverse Batmans, but we never even got that.
No.
We have never had Robin in any. Well, I mean, besides the 90s, we haven't had Robin in these new Batman movies. We just hinted at it. Not only that we had him, but if we're talking what I assumed until you told me that information, the second version of Robin. So we have Bruce, who has gone through Dick leaving and becoming Nightwing. Mm-hmm. So we've got that going down in Gotham, which is also probably saying that we have Batwoman as well happening there. And so the version of Batman that showed up in a night sequence is that guy.
Yep.
Plus the death of Robin.
Yep.
And then, so I was mad about that because then they said, fuck you, this is a dream, this is all made up, pretend. And then you're saying also in the pretend, it's not even what you thought it was going to be.
No.
I can't.
It's disrespectful.
That went from being my favorite and also most upsetting scene because I want that version so bad. I want an Injustice.
Oh, it'd be fun.
I'm so. How many times do I have to see the pearls hit the ground? I know that he has dead parents. Yeah. What else does Batman do?
Show us a death in the family.
Show me.
Make that a 3 epic story. First one, you get Dick Grayson. Second one, Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing. You bring up Jason Todd. Mm-hmm. Have Jason Todd die either in the second or the third. Have Bruce go off the fucking handle, and then you have Nightwing step into that fucking role to hold the pieces together. He doesn't want to do it.
It's almost like they don't want to make money. Because don't get me wrong, I love the idea of Arbats because that version, what we're getting in the Arbats realm is everyone's up and coming, which I think is fun because we've also never had that. It's just, I mean, I would have done it differently. I would have been like, hey, we've seen Batman, the origin story, and then 3 movies after 17 fucking times. And let's do something different. And rather than saying, let's go to an older Batman where he's dealing with these, rather than a villain of a bad guy, the villain is himself. The villain is the guy who pushes Dick out of the house and then Dick goes and becomes Nightwing. Yeah. The villain that is Batman who poorly brings up Jason Todd and Jason Todd dies. And then the villain truly who is Batman after the death of Jason Todd inside of Gotham, which is held together by Nightwing and Batwoman. What a universe. What a universe that we could talk about. Oh my God, how glorious it would be.
Yeah.
We've never fucking seen that in cinema. How fucking cool. I mean, yes, Arbats is we're not getting Bruce. We're getting Bruce shortly after he decides to become Batman. We're going to watch Bruce Wayne young Bruce Wayne get the shit kicked out of him. We're going to watch him struggle, and we're going to watch him suffer, and we're going to watch everyone around him become. We're going to watch Selena Kyle become Catwoman.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're going to watch everyone is developing. And I think that's a cool storyline. I think we have never gotten that before, and I think it's going to be really fucking fun. But also, you had already a cake where we don't have to watch the pearls hit the ground again, because even though we're going to watch a come up of our bats becoming Batman, we still have to open up with the pearls hitting the ground. We could skip that and go to one out of the 20 million things about Bruce Wayne that make him a great character.
Imagine the formation of the Justice League is post Jason Todd death, Bruce going off the handle, other heroes taking notice, Wonder Woman showing up and being like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Flash coming in and being like, can't do this, man. Imagine it being them versus, or like them trying to reel Bruce in.
Yeah.
That would have been
incredible.
That would have been neat.
Incredible.
We never would have seen that.
Because what is, for me personally, as like a Batman fan of the like comic lore, the reason why I love Bruce Wayne, the character, is because he's always got a foot on each side of like good and bad, the true villain. And that's the whole joke of him and Joker, is that they can't kill each other because they are mirrors of each other. They need each other.
100%.
They literally need each other. And at the end of the day, Batman is not a perfect hero, and that's why he is perfect. And we have not seen the exploitation of that version. You don't have to give me a villain. You don't have to give me Bane. You don't have to give me Joker. You don't have to give me Riddler. You give me Bruce Wayne versus himself. That is the best fucking
100%.
storyline. Those are the best stories.
Or even imagine like Deathstroke pulling the strings and Bruce being like, I'm not doing this, I'm tapped the fuck out, and then thinking it's Bruce. And then Nightwing has to step in and clear Bats' name. Fun. Would have been fun.
It would have been so fun because
Instead,
like
we get CGI Darkseid for 2 minutes. He was in the film for seconds, and we were supposed to fear him. It immediately reduced Steppenwolf to a messenger. Kill the fucking messenger, worthless. Like, all Steppenwolf did was show up, get a box, and piss the fuck off.
It was upsetting. I think that's the most upsetting thing in the whole entire world.
And the whole thing was, I saw the Snyder cut, and I think we were all in the same boat of like, it is what it is, man. It was better than the Whedon one. And then I found out what Zack Snyder had to say to me about it, to you about it. People who like the Snyder film, fine, whatever. People like that one guy who said it was the best Snyder film or the best superhero film anyway. Sir, I want to have a talk with you face to face. I want to know who your insurance is through. I'll help you find an in-network provider for a brain scan because you were clearly fucked up. But like, I don't like people gatekeeping, and Zack Snyder is the ultimate fucking fanboy. You go to a comic book and you're like, or you go to like any convention, you're like, I like Superman. And he goes, name every Superman comic. Who wrote it? Who did this? And you're like, you are giving me Wikipedia and telling me it's fucking canon.
That's
How
it.
dare you?
That's literally it. That end of discussion. That's what is wrong with the entire Snyder cut, because he read the Cliff Notes, he read the Wikipedia, he saw Green Lantern, he saw Superman dying, he saw fucking Batman can have a Robin, he saw all of these things. Oh, and then also like, of course, Flash. Flash can reverse time and maybe might have consequences. He saw all of these highlights, put them in the movie, so if you paid attention you would see it and go, wait. Also Martian Manhunter, and you go, wait a fucking second, and then just walked away from literally, by dropping those names he could have stopped and reversed the movie and told a different story, because the names that he dropped are so powerful in themselves, and then he did not, and then he rewrote it. That's why it's so fucked up.
And then goes into an interview and says, we're living in a fucking dream world. And we're like, this is not who these characters are.
No.
And if you want to write those characters, there are characters out there. You want to write a shitty Superman? Do Irredeemable. Do a Hyperion from Marvel. You want to write like Superman showing up at the last minute? Do Earth 1. There's so many different ways to do it. And he didn't do it and then shit on us and said we weren't the intelligent fans for hating it. The audacity in this bitch.
I literally, like, every time you said something to me about Zack Snyder in an interview after the movie came out, I thought that it was like, I thought that what I saw was bad. And then you just told me it was worse.
Yeah. I didn't really have a bone to pick with the movie. I was like, I don't like it. I don't think it's good. I saw people defending why they liked it. And I was like, I'll talk about the things you liked. I can like those things too. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, I'm not going to defend this on the principle of the matter.
I agree completely. The movie minus Zack Snyder's inputs and edits, I would say.
Yeah.
Or clarifications, quote unquote, that he would like to call them. The movie was just not great for me.
And you know what, Joss Whedon, you're not off the fucking hook either. Because you wrote Batman Cacophony, which wasn't that good. A lot of your inputs to the comic books, minus the X-Men.
Thank you.
I give credit where credit is due.
Thank you.
Not that good. You are good in name alone at this point. You are resting on your accolades and you couldn't give a shit about improvement.
Absolutely.
Look at what Kevin Feige has done because he respects the lore, he respects the fan base. He can give the fans funny shit like stormtroopers not shooting missing shots from 2 feet away. But also be like, no. This is Star Wars as I am going to tell it based on the lore as I understand it. I'm not going to write out female characters because the fans told me to. I'm not going to like stop giving you cute fucking baby Yoda because what big strong guys don't want to like him anymore. That's what respect looks like.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Disrespect looks like this, and I don't want to be disrespected. I had to subscribe to HBO Max to be disrespected.
I had to give 4 hours of my time to have my face spitting. That's upsetting to me.
Yeah.
I literally, like, I have to like decompress what you just said about him saying that which Robin died in that dream sequence. I just like that literally, I said it when we talked about it, but that is literally like saying Batman is Batman, but his parents didn't die. You are taking a pinpoint moment in their lore and what? And then having the audacity to, before saying that, saying people who criticize his shit are not true comic book fans and we're delusional.
Yeah.
We're delusional.
Living in a fucking dream world is the quote.
No, fuck you, Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm glad your daughter didn't have to sit through this.